POC, these are the demons who are defiant in the face of being defeated and exposed, and they're going to pay what are very destructive damages to destroy these companies and make sure that they no longer exist and that they are exposed internationally as terrorists. They are enemies of the United States and they're enemies of whatever country that you're in. They're murdering people while I'm exposing them, gang stalking me, and doing so while they're being exposed on the internet. They're witnessing this damning evidence and they're persisting and engaging in that which is damning to themselves. These are companies that are going to cease to exist. They just engaged in what is a cartwheel. So they're just flying over here stalking for the purpose of stalking me. I don't care that I'm caught. I don't care that I'm embarrassed. I'm going to keep on stalking because I cannot face reality that this little person, this little female is defeating me. That's the entity that's determined to commit murder. Murder that's not going to happen. What they've murdered is the prospects of these airline companies. I'm going to prosecute them. And the damages will be so heavy that the company will not exist anymore. And that's justice. This is POC. You already know there's no flights that are scheduled right now. It's 10:30 p.m. And you're not going to a destination when you're merely hovering over the city hall and then doing a cartwheel. They're not going to Seattle. They're not going to Dallas, Texas. They're stalking. This is POC. It's currently 10:30 p.m. This is what the terrorists are doing while the terrorists are already prosecuted. This is the evidence. The federal government is going to remove these companies from existence. You don't have a right to exist as a company. That's not a constitutional right. That's not interfering with your freedom of speech. It doesn't exist to engage in terrorism. So I'm going to drain you and then you will cease to exist. POC. Here's another plane. Psychopathic pacing. This is the city hall. These are the demon possessed that are murdering American citizens. This is the Ontario Police Department gang stalking in the same manner, flying repeatedly over my head while I'm exposing gang stalking commercial airline companies. Yeah, UPS was not an accident. That wasn't an accidental mishap regarding the engine that came and nobody knew that there was something wrong. That was murder. In the same way that this is terrorism, stalking, while they're monitoring the evidence. And where the entity is doing this over the community is gang stalking. Okay? These are old people that live over here. And nobody's complaining about the helicopter activity. Nobody's complaining about the planes that don't belong in this area, this multifamily zoning. They're doing so outside of what's published on the website. It would be very easy to submit a complaint. They're engaged in gang stalking. You already know that. Okay. This is POC. It is currently 10:31 p.m. These are the tactics of the mentally ill, the self-destructive conduct. They have literally handed me over their companies. Okay, they've literally handed them over to me, but it is my desire that they cease to exist. They're not needed. They are a liability. They are a threat to the public. So I don't want these companies. You're going to pay me, and you are actually going to prison. You're going to be committed, and I want these companies removed. That's what I want. I don't want the company. This is POC. It is currently 10:32 p.m.